This video will demonstrate how to create a liquefied self-portrait in Photoshop in the vein of the Photo to Pencil project. For those of you who are in level 2, you have done a Photo to Pencil project in the past with a straight photo. What we're going to do now is liquefy the photo to make it a little bit more unusual and unique before we proceed with the standard Photo to Pencil practice. Okay? So we're introducing a new step here. What we want to do is open a photograph of ourselves and duplicate the layer, and on that duplicated layer we will use the Liquify filter. Okay, so that's going to open up a whole host of different options like warping, rotating, puckering, and bloating. These can be fun in exaggerating the features of your face. So I'm going to pop over to Photoshop and show you what some end products look like. I'm going to float my layers window so you can see the layers that make this up. Okay, I have a brightness contrast adjustment layer. I have an inverted color dodge layer. I have a black and white layer, and then I have a color layer. Okay, I'll go ahead and turn those eyeballs back on, but then I will hide the group Liquefied Photo to Pencil. Here is a normal Photo to Pencil. Okay, and this is the base photograph. So what we want to do, I will go ahead and hide and collapse both of these folders. Starting from here, I want to duplicate my layer. So that keyboard shortcut is Control J. The long way would be to right click and choose Duplicate Layer. I'm going to call this one BW for black and white. And then the next step is to press Control Shift U to Image Adjustments Desaturate. Control Shift U is your shortcut. So once you have a black and white copy, you're ready to go in and liquefy it. So that can be done under Filter, Liquify. Now Shift Control X ought to work for students. When I press that keyboard shortcut, it actually opens another program in my array that I'm using currently to capture this video. So I'm going to use the long way to get here. We're going to go into Liquify, but then we're going to get a chance to play with these tools. Now right now my brush is very, very big. If I were to click and drag, I'd be pulling my face in a way that is somewhat unflattering, although these will be relatively unflattering. I don't want to do that, so I will press Control Z to undo. What I'm going to do is play around more with the twirling, puckering, and bloating features. I think I want to bloat this eye a bit, so I'm just kind of clicking to make it larger, and maybe I will pucker this far side eye or my mouth, and I will click. You know, if I click a lot, it does a lot. If I click and drag, you can see what's happening there. It's kind of pulling my nose. So now I might need to use my forward warp tool to just rearrange the face. I'm going to see if I can get the bridge of my nose to come back down again. There we go. And maybe I want to push and pull some of the areas of my face. I'll exaggerate a bend in my ear. Maybe I will try to bloat out the top part of my head a touch. Maybe I'll exaggerate my forehead and my brow. Now the brush size can be quite large or really, really small. If I wanted the brow to be very exaggerated, I can try painting over both of the brows. See how that's working. If I want my nostril to be exaggerated, I can kind of paint that over. Okay, and that's a smaller brush, 140 pixels. If I want to do a bloat that's so big that it affects everything, I have to pick something between 1,000 and 500. Maybe I'll bloat out my chin just a touch down here at the bottom, just kind of clicking and moving. All right. And if I'm satisfied with the adjustments that I've made, great. If not, I can hold down the Alt key and reset it. It would put me back to normal, but I like what I have. Also be aware there are some face-aware liquify features you can use to adjust the size of your eyes. Okay. Do not be afraid to try those out. Maybe I'll keep this maxed out eye size. What about the eye width? Kind of like that. Eye tilt. Go, yeah. Eye distance. Alright, I'll stick with this as it is and press OK. So now I have a liquefied, distorted version of myself. Okay, this is what I'm going to do for the remainder of the photo to pencil procedure. So checking back in with the handout, we should probably hit save at this point and save the Photoshop file to the cloud. All right, then we're going to duplicate our filtered layer. So I'm going to do first File, Save, and then I'm going to do Control J to duplicate the black and white copy layer. At this point I need to invert it by pressing Control I, and now I have a photo negative version. Once I change that from normal on the drop down menu to color dodge, everything's going to go almost completely white. From here I just need to blur this top layer, and then the white will disappear and I'll have my pencil version of myself coming back in. So I will go to Filter, Blur, and Gaussian Blur provides us with a nice slider that, with the right settings, we can get our features back. I think 11 looks pretty good. I'll click OK. Now, these three layers combined, actually just these two, provide me with what I would want to save, what I would want to export, and what I would ultimately want to print. And using studio paper of various colors and thicknesses, you can use studio materials for your end product, which is a lot of fun. But at this point, we're just concerned about saving the PSD, which we have done. If I want to save as and make sure I'm saving it on the cloud, I just have to go to the Save to Cloud Documents, and I will save it, Liquified Photo to Pencil. That's what PTP stands for. And then I need to, of course, export a version that I can put into my digital sketchbook for grading. So I will go to Export, Quick Export as a PNG. This is Liquified PTP3. I'll just tag Demo onto the end of it. And then I'm ready to update my sketchbook, possibly print, and get to work adding color.